This sim will let you get acquainted with the surface, risk-free.
Hello guys, how you doing? Last night, I took my first look at the 𝐒𝐢𝐻 Frontier in the closed beta. It's a free-to-play sci-fi first-person shooter PvP PvE with single and co-op gameplay, and it seriously impressed me. Now, as with all free-to-play games, the concern is, what are you actually paying for, how much are you going to be paying for it, and is it ultimately going to amount to pay-to-play, or worse still, pay-to-win? And on that front, I can't yet tell. But something about 𝐒𝐢𝐻 Frontier feels very different somehow, more honest perhaps, a real genuine gamer's game. Unfortunately, in my first look gameplay experience, I seem to have hit a bug which dramatically reduced the amount of gameplay exposure that I was actually able to enjoy. Nobody on their Discord seemed to know why I couldn't claim any of the first 3 missions that I had accepted, despite fulfilling all of the criteria. So there is much gameplay that I've missed out on so far. However, it also allowed me to see the game from a very unique perspective, one which most people won't have seen the game. After all, this is a beta, and I still found the game to be extraordinarily good. And if you like what you see here in today's review, then I recommend you wishlist this on Steam, maybe even try and get into the closed beta yourself, and definitely take a look at this game. The 𝐒𝐢𝐻 Frontier is set on an abandoned planet called Fortuna 3, which looks to be procedurally generated, as I don't think I've ever landed in the same spot twice, and I was playing for quite a few hours. Now that might not actually be true, it might not be procedurally generated, it might just be so well designed that it makes each landing feel completely unique. What is true though is that you will encounter numerous creatures seemingly hell-bent on killing you, along with falls and dangerous weather situations also trying to take your life. Essentially, you are playing the role of a prospector who will land and immediately set about scavenging the abandoned research facilities, scanning, mining and recovering resources, or completing other specific quests. Now I say immediately because there are more prospectors on the planet than just you, and there's only one ship which is available in order to pick you both up and leave. So do be extremely cautious around other players, because killing you and robbing you is considered to be acceptable behaviour on Fortuna 3. Now it's important to note that the ship that collects you must be called by a player from one of 2 specific locations. So whoever calls the ship first has a really strong advantage over the other player, and as such, ambushes are a real concern. Graphically, it reminds me of No Man's Sky and Satisfactory, with gameplay elements that also strongly reminded me of Jurassic Park. It's glorious to look at, even on median graphics running 2K, which is what I actually needed to run in order to get a solid 60 FPS using my GTX 1660 Ti. The gameplay audio is also absolutely brilliant, as are the accompanying music tracks, and even the voiceover work is of the highest quality. Quite honestly guys here, the graphics and the audio and the gameplay are teeteringly close to AAA standards. You can play solo or with 3 players in a co-op mode. Dying results in you losing all of your equipment and your inventory unless you place them in what are called safe pockets or insure them prior to travel. Now, this game offers a risk-reward situation, and honestly, that adds quite a lot to the gameplay. Unfortunately, because of the bug that I encountered, I was unable to buy any replacement resources at all, and eventually I ran out of everything. I had no guns, no bullets, no armour, and no backpack. The lack of weapons actually wasn't that big a deal, to be honest. I managed to take down quite a few enemy creatures with just my knife, and I managed to outrun or outwit many more. But the lack of a backpack really made things very difficult indeed, because it meant I could only pick up one thing and place it into my safe pocket, despite there being 3 slots. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. Now, I've got to say, I really did genuinely love everything about this game, except for 2 things. One, the fact that you seemingly cannot pick up and use a health pack that you have found laying around, because you must first pick it up, place it in your inventory backpack, and then use it. I hope they changed that, I really do. I also found it very annoying that there were absolutely no weapons or ammo that I could scavenge. I'm quite happy landing on a planet with nothing more than a knife, but it would be nice if I could arm myself whilst I was there. However, the fact is that most people will never have to experience the game in the way that I did, because that bug will probably be fixed. You can also craft items, something else I didn't get a chance to do, and effectively you can buy and sell goods, and you can even kit out your own pad, your own flat, your own apartment. There is talk of those apartments being able to be connected so that you can invite your friends to join you in that apartment too, and that's kind of cool as well. Some other things that I haven't experienced yet include mini puzzle games on the planets themselves, unexpected events, changing weather conditions, which can also kill you, multiplayer, co-op, and the second map, which is rather ominously called hard difficulty. Overall, though, the game plays really well. It is a little demanding, so a potato PC user might as well forget that I even mentioned the game. You're going to have to check the specs on Steam. But like I say, I was running on medium graphics at a solid 60 FPS and an i7 9700 and a GTX 1660 Ti. So if you've got a half-decent rig, then this is a really promising title due to release later in 2022. And I, for one, am incredibly impressed and really keen to see more. The only question is going to be, how does their financial system work? And there was a question sheet promoted to you after you played the closed beta, telling you about how their payment structure was going to exist. But until I see it in the flesh, if you will, then I can't be sure if it's fair and just and honest. To be honest with you, though, if this game was £30 and then had DLC options for sort of cosmetic items or characters or not weapons, but characters and stuff that doesn't enhance your ability to win, I think that would be very reasonable. It really is a game worthy of £30 plus, you know, the available options of DLC purchases thereafter. Hopefully, this won't be another one of those pay-to-play, pay-to-win scams, as I call them, because, you know, you can be caught up paying thousands of pounds for something that should really be a single game. But, from this point, I am more than impressed. It really, really, really was a lot of fun. Even though I didn't get very far and I hardly got to experience half the game, you know, I spent hours playing it and really enjoyed it, despite the bug that I ran into. If you happen to know what it is I'm doing wrong that won't allow me to complete any of my quests, please let me know. That would be really helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.